Well, folks, we are back at it again. This is Love Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. We are back at it again. Once again, my name is DJ TyB, the place to be. On top with me is Ron Molinga out there. Petraa is not available today. I don't know why. I know why, but I won't share that with you. We've got a lot of conversational attitudes to be discussed right now on this program, Highway 6 to Africa. To those of you who do not know anything about Highway 6 to Africa, yes, well, we highlight. We have conversations with the greatest, because the music industry is full of so many things. It's a jungle out there, and we get the best and have conversations with a lot of our great brothers and sisters who are in this industry. I'm in the industry too. Well, it's never been fun, but hey, we've come over it. We've gotten the recognition as it demands. Well, we want to also give way to a lot of artists out there who hitherto, let me put it this way. There's a lot of ammunitions out there. They are undiscovered. But hey, if you make it to the top, that doesn't mean there are some out there who are not as explosive as we can be. Ron, how you doing, my brother?
TyB, I'm doing fine. Just came back from a nice walk. And here on the West Coast, well, where I'm living, we have an overcast day today. It's looking pretty good. But how I will say that yesterday was a little bit more rough, lots of rain, but we still have not encountered any snow like I'm sure you're still encountering in your area of the world. However, so I cannot complain. And even if I complain, no one would listen anyways.
I know. Yeah, the weather is changing here in Toronto. It's beautiful out there. It's sunny. And it's 0 degrees, but you know what? I will not employ or ask anybody to go out there without being properly dressed, because we are getting out of the snow that we had. Over 30 centimeters of snow. It's gradually. Well, it rained the other day, but all the same, it's beautiful. It's beautiful today because the weatherman says we are going to have hit the double digits this weekend. And Ron, the times are changing right now. Spring forward, yeah, we are changing the time. Yeah, I hope it doesn't go back again. I hope it stays the same way. I hope so too. I'm so tired of it. How about you?
Oh yes, I know. It's funny. The premier of our province was asked just the other day about when we're going to stay with one time and stay with one time, and he said next. Basically, I'm not going to answer that because what we're doing, we're just waiting for the United States here in our province to get the go, but apparently their Senate has not approved it, or there's something going on in the states that will not get it approved. So I'm not going to hold my breath as to when the time change is going to stop, because there's really no benefit to anybody except we lose and gain an hour of sleep. That's all, and that's not really that beneficial other than being a pain in the butt.
Well, it should go with the trade war. So we have to maintain it, the time on. So we should have a time war too, so that we don't go back. How about that?
I think that with what would be best in our interest, just say we don't care about the states. We're going to do what we want to do. Thank you very much.
That's right.
And which we are doing right now. And yeah, we could get really political today, but that's not the name of this show. However, it would be, I think, we don't want to be sitting around waiting forever and ever and ever. I'd be lucky in my lifetime if I see this ever drop, but I sure hope it comes sooner than later.
Yes, I know. But when it comes to our industry, music is universal. So no matter what the politicians do, we don't give a damn.
Yes.
We want to be in that brotherly kind of atmosphere. Well, we have a special guest today. Yes, and it's no other than the melodic rapper, the Haitian-American melodic rapper, Kam Geez. Hey, Kam Geez. My brother, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Ron, what up, man? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. TyB, everything good?
Yeah, everything is kosher. If I can put it that way, everything is going so great. I hope you're enjoying the weather too.
Yeah, weather getting better on my side too. I can't complain. It's getting a little better. It's a lot of wind gusts and everything, but we good in New England.
See, that's the Canadian way. If you meet any Canadian, the first thing that the Canadian is going to ask you, how's the weather? That is a tradition right here. But I'm so glad that you've taken the time, your busy schedule to be with us this afternoon. By the way, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be around the globe. Kam Geez is in the house, so we are going to have a conversation. Sit down, take some beverage. Don't spike it because you have to sit down and then you listen to the conversation. It's going to be very interesting. Over here, it's not about gotcha. It's a conversation so that you will be able to know the career path. Because you know what, we all have been through so many indentations, if I can put it that way, during our careers. It hasn't been great, but it's so great to sit down with our brothers and sisters in the industry. This industry, as I've always been saying, is a jungle. If you don't take care, you'll be eaten alive. So you know what, it's not been pleasant, but all the same, we are happy to share the stage here with our brother Kam Geez. Ron, the first salvo from you.
First, can you give us the pronunciation of your name? Because I think you pronounce it Kam Geez, and I've heard TyB pronounce it Kam Geez. How do you pronounce it?
Kam Geez.
Geez. Oh, okay, gee whiz. Like I said, but before the air there. Yeah. Hey, Kam, can you tell us a little bit about your growing up and background and what got you into music as a child? What started all that for you, and what made you decide that, hey, I think I'm going to get into the music industry?
Music always been a passion for me. It started off really when I was young. Actually, my father, he played in a compa band, which is a Haitian band. It's a Haitian jazz band. So I used to go to his practices and everything. At first, I wasn't really I'm like, damn, they recording, playing the songs back to back and everything. But as I grew older and became an artist, I understood it. But that's when the passion started. So, growing up into hip hop, becoming really just really a student of the game, it just inspired me to become an artist. A lot of inspirations like Dipset, Rockefeller, Jay-Z, and so on, Tupac. So, and that's where it's really started. When my father used to take me to his band practices and everything. And, I really drew a liking to music and how it was created.
A lot of artists we get on every week say they often grew up with the church as being an inspiration. Is that the case for you, or was it just because of more of the inspiration, as you've already indicated, with your father?
It was. I would say not really growing up in the church, but yeah, it was more or less with my father and growing up just paying attention to hip hop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Somebody will ask us, when we have artists from, say, Nigeria or Ghana or any other place, the first thing that we have to ask is, why are you not playing Afrobeats or stuff like that? So Dad played in a compa group, right? And we love compa music. It's all over the station because it's an African Caribbean online radio. So we play compa music and stuff like that. Why didn't you follow Dad's footstep?
I mean, it's a little different. It's a new era, new generation, and everything. So I don't know. More or less, I grew up really paying attention to hip hop. Compa music was played, going to Haitian parties, mom playing it while she cleaning and everything. But hip hop is more my passion. That was, that it's a culture that really I drew a liking to it a lot. Well, I really fell in love with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's one thing that I've read about your bio, and since when you're not doing anything, you write music and then you melt the hearts of women and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just tell us about that.
I know that one too. Yeah.
Hold on. You want to know how I melt the hearts of women you talking about?
That's right. You melt, you write music, you adore, what. By the way, it's an International Women's Day. That's why I asked that question.
Shout out to the powerful, strong women out there that hold it down. I mean, I like to cater to the women, especially through the music and everything. I can't get you out of secrets and everything. I can't give you out of secrets and my ism and everything.
Okay.
But you know how it goes, man. I like to cater to the women a lot.
Yeah. Awesome. And then there's one thing I said. One thing I would like to, I would tell my fans is to be yourself. Stand on what you believe in, lock in on your dreams, and go for it. You are the only thing standing in the way of yourself. I love it. I love it. Can you expand it, please?
Things like that, man. You know, sometimes you create your own problems, you know. I feel like a lot of people be stagnant or they like to procrastinate, and you be in the way of yourself. So I really think that once you cross that barrier and then cross that line, you're gonna get to where you want to go. You gotta envision it yourself. You gotta envision yourself there first, and then as you know, just enjoy the journey, because that's when you're gonna get the experience and learn everything, the knowledge, you know. So you got to stand on what you believe in, and just go for it.
That's right. And I believe in that too, because we've had artists when sometimes when we have conversations with them on this platform, this program, and we ask them, about same thing. They say, "Oh, I want to be like Kam Geez or I want to be like Ron, or I want to be like Petraa, I want to be like Burna Boy." And we always tell them, focus on yourself, because at the end of the day, there's only one Kam Geez, there's only one TyB, there's only one. How would you approach that by telling a young artist who's breaking into the industry about this statement that you've made? I love it, seriously.
Man, I just tell them the same thing. You know, stick to yourself. Stick to what you know. Stick to what made you who you are. You know what I mean? You can always be inspired by others, but take a little piece of that and go on and work on yourself with that. Don't always just, this person's doing this, or this person's doing that. No, you got to stick to what you do and stick to what you know.
Awesome. And during your career, you remember your first lyrics or the first recording that you made? And how did you
man, I cannot remember the first lyric. Like, it got to be what time, like the time when I was like really like starting off, or like I don't know, I can't remember all, because I didn't record so much music, so it's hard for me to remember the first. Somebody will have to bring it up to me, like, yo, remember this song right here. So that's how it'll go about for me.
Oh, you better go look for it, because the way that you're going in terms of your upswing in your musical career, it may be worth millions. Because somebody might say, what was it? And what, like how we are always going after say the Michael Jacksons and all the, even their scripts and all the lyrics, the first lyrics and all those kind of manuscripts that they wrote, they were millions. So think about it, and then once you get it, you know where to reach me. I'll be able to, Hi, Ron.
Hey. I know I thought TyB was going to steal a question of mine that I often ask.
Oh, stop it, Ron.
One of the things I like to ask artists, as a songwriter myself, is how you go about your writing process. Because we have people that are saying things like, "Oh, I just get a beat, I write the lyrics first, I sit down and write with somebody, I have a method." I personally have a method that I work with. Mine is with chord changes, or using a drum beat of some sort to put the chords into it before I start writing the melodies. But you know what? There's no right or wrong to this. What's your approach to all this?
It depends, man. I get a lot of how I go about. If I'm in the studio, it's just I'm very picky when it comes to production. That's one thing. I'm very very picky. So I'll be going through beats, or sometimes even before I go to the studio, I'm listening to beats, and it's really I don't write really. I write in my head. I don't write I write in my head. So I do write, but I write in my head. So it's really it's just kind of the vibe and the feeling that I'm going through at the moment, And then sometimes I'll be driving and going about my day, running my errands, and doing what I got to do. Sometimes lyrics just come to my head, and cadences come to my head, and melodies come to my head. So I just remember that right there, and I might take that to the studio with me and hopefully find a beat that fix that perfectly, and I just go from there.
So what you're saying is that you pick up beats from other people and just go from there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's one way. Yeah, I don't really write my lyrics. Obviously, if I'm rapping, I might have like a 16 or something. That's if I'm in the moment, but more or less, I'm in the studio vibing, and I just go off the moment right there.
Mm-hmm. With rap, I noticed with your songs, you're not including a lot of hooks per se. hooks are one of those things that are repeated over and over so that people remember their songs. How do you get people to remember your songs if you're not including hooks? I'm just curious about your approach to it.
I mean, my choruses sometimes do have hooks, but I would say I do. I don't know. It's the melodies. You got to catch them by the melodies and the cadences. That's how it's something simple could be memorized so easy. So that's how it goes. A nice beat, nice melody. And I believe some of my songs have hooks in them. It'll be a chorus with the hook, and then a lot of them is, well, I'm used to a lot of songs I just recorded too, because I know a lot of those are just straight hooks.
Yeah, I say that as a teacher too, who's taught for over 30 years. That kids you can tell them something once, they'll go, okay. Twice, they start to go up. By 3 times, they start to remember it.
Yeah.
So I know that that's why songs I hear lots of times, they're repeating the hook up to, I've heard songs, I've shown people examples where they repeat the hook up to 30 times in the song, just so that people remember it. It's just you have a different approach to it. So can you tell us then what you said in one of your things, you mentioned that you use the streets as a tool to find yourself. Explain that to us.
I mean, growing up, with certain circumstances, you become a product of your environment, and that was like a journey of mine. It's like growing up, my experiences and everything. So really taking my experiences and put it in music. And growing up in the streets, you go through your trials and tribulations. You go through what you got to go through. Growing up, becoming a man as well. So I take that and put it to my music.
Yeah. TyB? Yeah.
Well, folks, you are listening to Love Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. Those of you viewing us, we have the fantastic Kam Geez. Yeah, and if you are listening to us, we know you are lined up out there listening to us. You know what? You know what to do. Tell a friend to tell a friend that you are with Africa. Love Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. My name is DJ TyB, the place to be. I'm here with Ron. Petraa is not with us today. She'll be back with us next week. Well, my question to Kam Geez is, have you considered, writing in combination with what you're doing right now and compa music?
I actually definitely thought about I be wanting to sample a lot of the classic music, classic records from the Haitian, from the compa that played on the compa charts and everything that I hear at Haitian parties or with the family. I definitely thought about that, but I just got to make sure I execute it the right way. You can't play with those type of records like that. You got to execute it the right way. So I definitely thought about incorporating, being a creative. That's definitely gonna happen. I just don't like to force things, but I like to have things happen naturally.
Yeah, I agree. But it's sometimes we had an artist here from the Caribbean, and he wanted to explore, and he went to Nigeria, and you know what, soca music from his country. He thought about it and said, you know what, let me explore, let me go, because we are in an era where exploration is what is actually going on. He said, let me think about it. So he went to Nigeria, and he had some producers, and then they sat down, and then they fused soca, his brand of soca, and Afrobeats, and it was so interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, what I may say is somewhere in the near future, think about it and then say, well, let me hit them with that, and then let me see how it's going to react. But I love your music, seriously speaking. I really, really love your music. How do you want to see yourself? I'm not going to say 10 years from now, 5 years from now. I hope I have not taken Ron's next question, because you know what, I'm always feeding off it. Yeah. How do you want to say it 5 years from now?
No, I'll ask the 10 years.
I mean, 5 years from now, I really want to, one thing I want to do is put on more. I want to give artists shots too. So I really want to be having my own label running by then, headlining tours. And like I said, passing the torch to other artists and teaching them the game, because I'm big on giving. I'm big on giving and putting people on. That's the type of thing that's what makes me feel good. And really, outside of music too, is a lot of business ventures. I'm with a lot of business guys all the time. So 5 years from now, I would say running my own label with other artists. Also, a lot of business ventures outside of that, heavy into the fashion too.
And Grammys too.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we need Grammys.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Great, great. And how has your music been received back home?
Oh, it's been lovely. Especially this recent record I just dropped right here is probably I've been getting a lot of love, especially since it's like is rooted back from being, it's called Grimas. So being a Haitian, being from Haiti, my family from Haiti and everything, is like the Haitian, all my Haitian people, they love the record. They love the record. So I've been getting a good response on it.
Good, good, good. That's what I want to hear. Most times it's so great to hear that. And we had another Haitian Canadian artist here, and she was saying she is Haitian to the core, man.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna let you know. We're gonna let you know.
That's right. That's right. So you know what? It's a pleasure. I'm so happy that we are having this conversation, and a lot of people who are listening to you. Check him out. Check him out. He is out of this world. Kam Geez. We are having a conversation with him from Love Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. Ron, it's your turn right now.
Hey, question for you. I've read that you're an independent artist. As we know, as TyB, and I've talked many times about this, about the independent artists. And I saw a post, actually, I think it was from you, TyB, about there's nobody sitting even in the top 10 right now that's an independent artist. What do you say to artists who are independent, and how do you encourage younger people or anybody that independent artistry is probably the best way to go, as opposed to signing with a major label? I know that TyB and I can speak on his behalf. We're very much in favor of independent artists, but why did you decide to stay with being independent rather than signing with a major label?
It made more sense for me.
Why?
It's just that the things that running with the label, sometimes a label could slow you up on what you want to do, even your creative process, how you want to roll out your music and everything. And I want to have full control. So running with a label right now, I will not have full control. And I like having full control of my career and what I want to do. If it makes sense for that person to go get with a label, then go ahead. But just know that when you're an independent artist, you have a little more groundwork to put in. You just got to work a little harder. If you believe in yourself, then go for it. But if it makes sense for you to go get with a label, go get with a label. But if it makes sense for you to stay independent, have full control, and do what you want to do, and move on your time, stay independent.
So, and then as an independent artist, how do you do all your distribution and all your social media and all of that? Do you take care of all of that too, or do you have a team of people, or how's that work when you're being an independent artist?
I got to give a big shout out to my manager, for real, and I got to give a big shout out to Grunge Cake and Richard Dean. That's how a lot of things work out for me. That's how a lot of things is easy to flow for me and everything. You got to get a team. If you don't have a team, then you got to attract the team. So you got to put in that work. So people that want to work with you, they're willing to work with you. And it's a passion as well. It's not just a business to them. And they want to see you. They want to see you move the needle. So that's what it is. You got to get a team, learn the game, understand marketing, playlist pitching, everything. Finding where your core artists, your core audience is at. So you want to be able to do shows and be able to have your own tour and everything.
Yeah. So when you're doing shows, are you on stage by yourself, a DJ or a band, or how's that work? I'm just curious about that. As a musician.
With a DJ, I like to perform. I probably have a hype man for certain things, but more or less with a DJ. I have my dog FB. We'll probably perform some records we got, but I like to perform with a DJ and do it like that. I'm not comfortable like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you talked about, you were saying in one of your interviews that you say you want people to feel or party to your pain. How do you balance raw emotion with making music that people will like?
I think vulnerability. People love, especially in these times right now, because a lot of people put up a wall. A lot of people put up a wall, don't really show their emotions. Some people don't wear their emotions on their sleeve. And I'm a person that I don't really put my emotions on my sleeve. So when it comes to the music, I learned that I had to be vulnerable. And then people grab more of a liking to it. They start to understand you more because they see that you go through things too. You're not a person that everything's not ha kiki. You go through things too. So I had to just learn to be vulnerable and be able to put it on music. It was a little process, but just really bringing people into my world. So when I say party to my pain, it's like, hey, this might be something I'm going through, but I'm gonna put it onto music where it's like it's okay. You probably going through it too, so this gonna help you get through it.
TyB?
Wow, interesting. Very great conversation right here. Ron will just say, I know what TyB is going to ask. I'm going to be shifting a little bit of the focus on AI.
Oh, yeah. There's TyB's favorite topic.
That's right. How do you see AI, in terms of where you sit and where I sit as an artist and where Ron sits as a producer and a songwriter? How do you see it impacting this industry of ours?
AI could be. I feel like it depends how you look at it as. If you look at it as a negative way, you're not gonna get nothing. It's gonna get a negative outcome. But if you look at it as a positive way, you might get a positive outcome. I was seeing an interview where Timbaland said it's you can't go against it really. You got to use it as a tool. You got to use it as another idea. So you might use AI to help you with ideas and everything. Like people they down talk auto-tune at first. Like, oh, auto-tune this, you can't really sing, but now everybody uses it as a tool, and now it's on 95% of people's music. You know what I mean? So I feel like you just gotta figure out a way how it's gonna work out for you. You can't really go against it. You have to get with today's times, because if you don't, you're gonna parachute them. So you got to get with today's times. If AI could work out for you, or you don't need it, or you feel like it could help it could be an addition to the music, go for it.
How do you see the negative side of it?
I wouldn't know to see the negative side, because I kind of see the positive side. Like, you could sample things. I'd already been in the studio with my engineer and used AI to do certain things with the AI. So I can't look at it as a negative way, because it already helped me out in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Because I'm saying this to say that the way it's going, we are now scratching the stuff. We haven't gone in deeper into it, because tomorrow you'll be hearing Kam Geez's music being played somewhere, but then your voice, your style, the lyrics that you've written, will say, oh, I love this lady. And then, AI will say, I love this lady. And then TyB will come and, I love this lady. And, using your voice. But in the meantime, you didn't do it. And you are there. How do you feel? And would you go after them? You see, that's where I am going. That's I hope you get where I'm trying to get to.
You basically saying like AI kind of taking your style and taking you, and then
cloning you,
cloning me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, see, that's a negative way to think. I wasn't thinking like that, but I mean, AI can't go to the shows that sold out and perform them. So people, you only can enjoy that for that moment. You know what I'm saying? You cloning me. I guess you could look at it as a positive way too. Like, all right, they're using me. I'm a big person. Like the same way Drake tried to use Tupac for Kendrick. You know what I mean? I guess, son, you say I'm flattered for you cloning me.
Yeah. But at the same time, the mullah, the greenbacks will be going to that person. Wouldn't that scare you? That, hey, you know what? I wrote this track, and then somebody's doing that. Somebody's using me as a clone. I mean, because you work tirelessly in the studio.
Yeah.
You put your team together, and then all of a sudden, like in Africa, they say the monkey works and the baboon enjoys it, right? The monkey works hard, and the baboon comes and he says, I'm enjoying it. Wouldn't that sort of trigger something and say, you know what, I'm going to go after this person?
Yeah, it kind of would. We're going to have to figure something out, man. We're going to have to figure something out. You can't take my whole style and clone me and then try to make big bucks off me. Yeah, that's one negative way to look at it too.
Yeah, because I'm saying this to say that a lot of artists are not looking at it from that angle, because the way the industry is going, we've been sharing a lot of things that has been going with that, in terms of the labels and the certain media houses and certain producers and all those. There's a lot going on out there. You know what? The thing that has come to focus right now is Spotify and the others. Because like I'm saying, I'm going back to what is going on. The monkey is working and the baboon is enjoying. So I'm looking at it from that angle. But then it has come to stay and it's going to be with us. So we have to adapt to that. Because like I say, when cars were being, manufactured back in the day. They had buggies, horse-drawn buggies, and people said, "Oh, no, it's going to kill us. It's going to kill us." But today, if you are in a buggy, I mean horse-drawn buggy, whatever they call it, people look at you and say, what the heck is that guy doing? You know, it's become something of the past. So, I mean, if we have to come to look at it, it has its positive. I'm not shooting it down. It's got its positive side, but at the same time, too, we have to look at the negative side, how it's going to impact on artists. Because again, we had an artist here, big artist here, who came on, and then he collaborated with another artist, and the track became a big hit. And then they were supposed to perform together. Tickets were sold. Everybody went in there, all those things in there. And all
I know where you're going.
One artist didn't show up. One artist didn't show up because the two collaborated, and then it became a hit. So this is one area that, as an artist, and in terms of collaboration, we have to be looking at. There are so many things that in the industry that most artists haven't looked at. But then we'll get into it, and we will learn a lot, because when we come here, we learn from artists, and then we impact our also experiences as artists to that. It's a conversation that we are having with Kam Geez, coming to you live from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Minus 1 degree Celsius. We are enjoying this conversation. Ron?
Hey, Kam Geez, I'm curious to know, I don't want to get into the AI thing too much, because we could start going with that for a while, in terms of AI writing your songs and writing your lyrics for you and just writing them down. And I will say, I have seen this happening, where many artists are writing songs, and I'm going, you didn't write that song, the computer did. And I hear this so often, where people are sitting by computers. I see them sitting by these computers, and that's all they're doing. And they're not using their instruments at all. They don't even know how to play an instrument. Where do you think music's going in the future here?
That's a very good question right there. I mean, as long as the artists that's creating the way they create without AI keep going and keep making an impact like that, I feel like we can keep this alive. But like I said, you got to find a way to create. You got to find a way to work with AI as well. I know how can I say, the roots and the passion of it is kind of taken out due to the fact it's computerized. But at the same time, I feel like it's something that's going to have to coexist. We're going to learn to coexist with, So I feel like it's too much talent for music to ever die down, and music is too powerful for ever die down. But I feel like I don't know. As long as we keep creating and learn to create with it, I feel like music will still be at a good place. And
that's fair response. Can I ask, what are your thoughts about when, like, I saw a huge sporting event yesterday, and all they were doing was playing songs from the 70s to the 90s, nothing at all. This is for about 20,000 people. What's your feeling about music today then, and where it's going? If they're not even going to play, I mean, this was for people from 4 years old all the way up to 94 years old, so the audience varied. So why do you think they're still doing that today, as opposed to putting on, say, Kam Geez?
I would say if they still playing 70s to 90s, it's timeless music. It's timeless music. If you can play it till today, that means it's timeless. So I don't know. You just got to continue to make the timeless music, put the passion into it. Actually put the effort to making music that's going to stick. Back to the days when they was making music for political reasons, things like that. That's going to stick, and you can always use it to future use. Whatever you create today, that can be played later on in life, 20 years from now. Because you said 70s and then to the 90s. Sometimes I attend these events, and they it's all R&B, but the best R&B was in the 90s and everything. So, things like that. Just stick to making timeless music.
Yeah, and do you think yours is timeless then?
Yes, for sure. I think my music is timeless. Sometimes my music, I hear certain songs and I be like, this aged well. It aged well.
I'm just asking because I didn't hear them play a single rap song at all.
Yeah. I mean, I have music that's actually like, you would think I'm rapping, but it's more melodic, and it plays on the R&B side. So I do kind of be in that creative box too as well.
I mean, you don't have to justify it. I'm just curious because I see this time and time again. I listen a lot to different places, different venues, and listen to what they're playing. And I'm not seeing a lot in this century so far being played. There are some great songs out there. Don't get me wrong, and there's some fabulous artists, really talented artists. I appreciate the talented artists, the ones that, you know, like if I was talking to you earlier about Charlie Puth, that guy can play incredible piano as well. And he's like, he sits at the edge of what's called he's not a child prodigy, but he's one of those guys I don't want to say a genius, but I say this, he has perfect pitch, but which can be a disadvantage sometimes. However, when he sits in the piano, your face will drop because of how well he just plays that. Not only that, he's a fabulous, he doesn't ever sing anything out of tune, he can't. So it's people like that I see that are making some kind of impression on me as a musician. I think as myself a musician and not a technician. So that's what I'm curious about today with today's music.
Yeah.
Because I see so many people using DAWs, like myself. I use a DAW for recording. However, that to me is just becoming too technical to me in terms of it's just I'm not catching a drummer feel. That's the one thing that I miss. Do you think your songs have like a good drumming feel to them? This is one of the things I love. I played with award-winning drummers, some really hotshot drummers, and that to me there's nothing like playing with a fabulous drummer. So what do you think your songs like that? I'm not saying they're not, or they are. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, a drummer feeling in the sense of like
groove.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And not only that, it's not always playing perfectly in time. Human drummers can't play perfectly in time.
I understand what you're saying, but yeah, for sure, a lot of groove. I'm big on like 808s. I mean, you can say like, because you know drummers do the bass work and everything like that. So I'm big on that, like the bass line and everything. So yeah, I feel like it got a nice groove. Like I said, I'm very picky on production. It has to groove well. It has to talk to me. It has to have that. It has to have good good cohesiveness. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I say this as a guy that's played on stage with grooving drummers, and your face sort of drops because you just go and it's so easy to sit in with them. They're not playing, and they have what are called retardandos they can do, and they can do fermatas and stuff like that, which are musical terms for they can slow down, they can speed up, and they can even have a song stop in a section and start right back up and go boom, 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 here we go again. And that's part of being a human. That aspect to me, I was listening to some great songs on my walk today, and that's one aspect I'm seeing personally missing in today's music a lot. Any thoughts on that?
You know, music always has its twists and turns where music always like, you know, the style of music changes like every 5 years, they say. So, you know how that goes. You just got to like go with the time. You got to grow with it as well. So, you know, certain, you know, and also history repeats itself. So some things that might be die down today, it might pick back up in the future. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With a new twist and turn to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of the 80s sort of come back over the last 5 years or 10 years. The 80s sound, that 80s drum sound, because I think people miss it. That's one of the things. And I agree. TyB, go ahead there, sir.
Yeah, vinyls are back again too. So
vinyls are back too.
Yeah,
time always repeats itself.
That's right. My next question is, who do you like to collab with?
It depends where you're talking about, in like rap or just in general.
In general.
There's plenty of people I like. Sometimes I get a brain fart for this question because there's a lot of people that like I come across and I'm like, I want to work with this person. But Afro beats, I like Thames. Like I like Thames a lot. You know, hip hop. I would like to collab with a lot of the artists, the rappers that before my time that I really want to pay homage to, like, you know, such as Dipset or Fab. Today's times, I like Future. I like Young Thug. Yeah, I could keep going. There's a lot of people I want to collab with, even around up and coming artists in my area that I want to collab with. You know, like my dog FB, Radar. Shout out to Radar. You know, I want to get another one with them. There's a lot of people I want to work with, man. I want to create. And if you look in my catalog, there's a lot of I don't have that much features, so that's why I'm willing to like really want to collab with a lot of people. But Sade is like one of my dream ones, man. Like, you know what I mean? That's like on the bucket list, like, you know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah, you said Sade, and I love Sade.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
I know
how can you
from
not?
that's right. I don't talk about Sade with Ron. Yes, yes, I love Sade. And
Oh,
you say
absolutely.
Sade, and it's very interesting because I know that played compact jazz, right? And she's there. You spoke about you gave us some names about people that you love to collab with. Why?
Um, one is like I'm actually a fan of your music, so it's like I got to be a fan of your music as well. Like I don't just collab just to collab. Like I got to actually be a fan of your music. Like I got to like your music, the story, what you're bringing, and what you just like. I just gotta like your music. I gotta be a fan because I'm a fan of music. Like I'm forever a student of the game, and the student of the game is a fan. So I'm one of those. So it's like I gotta, and I feel as if like we can actually make music that makes sense. That's gonna actually touch the people, relatable, whatever, party, emotional, vulnerability, whatever.
Okay. So when you started doing the melodic rap that you're doing right now, how did that? See, I'm bringing that in around because I love. You said he does compa jazz, and I love compa music.
Mm.
Um, how did he react? Because, like I said before, right? I would have expected, or like you get artists and say, "Oh, why didn't you play, this in from Ghana or from hip life or from Afrobeat or how is that taking it? How did he react to it when you branched off completely?"
I mean, it's different. And, I grew up. I was, he was born in Haiti. I was born in America, so
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
easy for me to just like, hip hop music. I grew up on hip hop. He knows like even him picking us up, me and my brother up, we playing. You put on the radio, put on Jimmy 94.5. So we listen to hip hop music. But when he actually like me actually taking on as being an artist and everything, he's my toughest critic. So if he say something like, "Oh, good job," this that, I'm like, "Oh, for real, good job. That's how you feeling?" Like, guys, something good.
You
So
sound surprised.
That's right.
he's my toughest critic. So it's like I mean, he took it in well. I mean, I play sports. He plays sports, so I think I took a lot of that, after him and everything.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. And I love this conversation. Seriously, um, apart from the fact that I mean you're in this industry, what has been some of your strengths?
Hmm.
My strengths, I feel like, is kind of being like hands on, really like with the like. I'm not hard to reach. So I feel like I'm really like adapted to really. I'll say like I don't know. I'm good at how can I say what's the right proper word, but like with my fans and everybody, like I'm there, like I'm reachable to like so as a fan, like as I feel like that's kind of big as an artist because it's like a lot of people seem unreachable to their fans and everything, but I'm reachable, and I think the quality of music is my strength too, is the quality. I may not like drop single back to back to back, but my music is I feel like the quality is there that it keeps people in tune with whatever I got going on.
And the follow-up question, the follow-up question will be weaknesses.
Mhm.
This is I say my consistency. Sometimes I feel like like I said, I have the quality with my consistency, and that's actually what I'm doing now. This year right here, I feel like I'm really going to give people what they want and what they really need and everything. So I feel like me not being consistent was my weakness, and that's the weakness that I'm actually working on. So it won't be a weakness no more.
But being consistent is also a strength
Yeah.
because
So
Yes.
you say what you want to do, and somebody might think, oh, you know what, can go to him. But some people may also interpret it as um, I can take advantage of him because he's that, right?
yeah.
Because that person is that. Okay, looking at it, what is the future hold? How are you looking at it in terms of touring? Are you embarking on any future tours?
Hmm.
I just got off a tour, my tours last year, but this year we growing up towards like the end of probably like the end of summer. We'll have a lot of shows lined up. I got a lot of shows coming up. That's what we're working on. But the headline tour is what we're working on next. So headlining tours we'll be working on. But right now we got a lot of shows, just bookings, everything that's on the way. But a headlining tour is good. That's my biggest one. To come from the States even to international. You know what I mean? So that's what we're working on.
Yeah. Because right now you are speaking and we are having a conversation with a huge international audience right here. So maybe somebody might say, "Oh, when are you coming this way? And when are you coming this way?"
Yeah. I'm working on that, man. Like I was just in Brooklyn last week. I had a show in Brooklyn last week. Shout out to Lips Cafe. Shout out to Taste of Sound. So that was a dope event too.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Hey, Kam Geez, there's one thing I can say that I'm very proud of is that if, like, I have a neighbor who's 13 years old, and I could say to her, "Hey, come on over. I'll let you listen to my new song here." She's 13, because whatever, it's just fine. There would be nothing. She would go, "Okay, yeah, that's fine." In other words, I can give it to my music to anybody I want. Do you feel the same about your music? Would you let your grandchildren listen to your music today?
I mean, when I get that age and have grandchildren.
Yeah. Hey, trust me, I don't have grandchildren either.
Yeah, but I would definitely let them, especially if we speak in future for the future reference and everything.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, like imagine you play your music that I recorded today, and then I grow old, I have my grandkids, and I play that music, and they really like that. And like I said, timeless music speaks volumes. So if they gonna like it, of course. So that's what I aim for when I record music, so that even when I'm a granddad, you can even hear that.
I notice the reason I say is because I hear a lot of language in it that's not always, I would say, appropriate for a 5-year-old or somebody like that. What do you thought? That's what makes me think about it. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, we got clean versions, and I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a lot of explicitity, but
yes.
Yeah, yes.
That caught my word. I pay attention to detail, and that caught my attention right off the bat within 3 songs.
Yeah, I mean, at a young age, no. I mean, if you're gonna give them a clean version, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're gonna give them a clean version, cool. But
that's different. That's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame. But the dirty version, nah, I wouldn't until they have age where they understand the world and understand life. And yeah, but sometimes they sneak and go listen to it on their own. So.
That's right.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I know. I tell any artist I work with, I say there's one little stipulation I have, because I write every day. I'm consistent about that every single day. There's probably not a day goes by that if I'm not writing, then I'm playing or practicing an instrument. So I know I'm consistent, and I tell every artist I work with the only thing I don't put up with in my songs, or if you're going to use my songs at all, is for language, and they're always going. Absolutely. So it's just because what I see personally is a bigger market for on radios and stuff like that. Because I know some radios will refuse to do that. I know in Canada we have a radio station here. It's our largest radio station, and it broadcasts worldwide. And it refuses to play songs that have swearing and so I'm just your thoughts on all that.
Now, that's funny you just said that. Even when I talk with my father, like I said, he's a musician himself. He even tells me, like radio play this, that, like, not too much bitches, all that, I don't know about on here,
Mm-hmm.
He be trying to tell me keep it cool. But I always tell him like there's clean versions and everything. But beyond that, I know what you mean. Like throughout the process of the song, like just listening to the song, any type of language that's, like I said, explicit, it could kind of slow you up. Like you said, it won't play you in certain radio stations and everything. But yeah, like I said, there's different categories of music I'll play. Like this is like explicit, like, all right, cool, this is raw. And this right here, all right, it's kid friendly right here. We're gonna make this type of music. This is kid friendly and whatever, so on and so on. It's for a movie. Yeah, so yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I just know that every song I write, anybody could listen to it. And nobody's yet said something back to me and said, this is really vulgar. And I don't think you should be playing this here. So I'm just curious how you deal with those situations.
Yeah, I know. I'm for the most part, the crowd, the audience I kind of target, it kind of don't seem like an issue and everything else. But I know what you mean exactly. But when I want to cater to the certain audience, I think I would go that route. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just thoughts that I have when I listen to music, because I listen to it very well, I listen not even just a little every single day. It's going through my head and listening to new artists and old artists and the like, and that's just the thing that I picked up from yours. When within probably 3 minutes of listening to 3 different songs, I picked up, okay, there's that N word. Okay, I'm gonna bypass that. So things like that, we're sort of going through it. And I just wonder your thoughts on that. TYB, go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of radio is the way to go right now. A lot of submissions that we get here, right? We always say that, you know what, if it's not clean, you don't, because sometimes you may not know who may be listening. Father will be garage and then you listening and then something will just pop in. Much as we don't want the kids to, they know, just like you said, they know they can hide and go and listen to. They do stuff that we don't know.
No.
If I don't, what you don't know cannot kill you. So the fact of the matter is that if it's clean, it reaches a wider audience. That's why most radio stations don't do it. Sometimes, I get certain genre of music and they say, okay, we submit because we appreciate, we want every artist out there, no matter who you are, because we have had Grammy Award winners here. We have had conversations here, Grammy Award winners and all. Every artist out there, if you want your music to be heard around the globe, and then you know what, there's no payola here. So far as it's clean, hey, no matter what it is, we'll play it. We will play it. We will push it. If you release the song and you feel it's, we will do it. So you know what, this is just by the way, but I think I'm enjoying the conversation and you've given us some great gems there. You know what? So in terms of the tour, we had a conversation here the other day, and we see that playing live, going out live, is the way of the future because of how the AI and all these kind of and now have come into play. Are you taking it in strides to say that, you know what, I have to go out there to make money because I'm not getting money from the labels, and if I'm an indie person, I got to go out there, meet the people. So if I have 200 or 500 people and they pay me $1 each, I've taken that money, it's in my pocket. Have you considered that, you know what, that in the near future, that's where it's going to go? Because I'm saying this because, Ron, I think I shared something with you about how certain labels are in collaboration with other, taking
I heard that one. Yes, yeah.
That's right. That, you know what, artists are made to pay, but we don't know that you are made to pay for the venues that you play, you perform at. And one thing that came out was that one advice is also that artists should be able to say, sell out, even if it's 400, sells 400 tickets, in a very small venue. You do it just two times. Any booking agent for any venue will be able to say, this guy can fill out these places. So I think my advice to you is that you look at it critically and say, you know what, I'm going to, work very hard and then be on tour because that's the way of the future. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, it's back to the future where you have to go out there to perform, put the money in your pocket, and run, because I've gone through that. I was built playing for 1 hour. About 1 hour. And as soon as I played the first set, I didn't even play not the first set. The first, just started one music. They said, "Oh, okay, it's enough." I bagged up 10 grand in the pocket and ran with it. It was something that I loved. So I would like to insist that, moving into the future, put a lot of credence into having to tour.
Yeah, I think hitting the roads is big. Like you got to tour. I feel like that's like another way of like direct to consumer. So I feel like tour is very important. People want to see you live. Like it's one thing hearing this music, watching your video on YouTube, but a live performance is always the best experience.
That's right.
That's how you can learn to like it. You might hear a song on the radio, don't like it, but you've seen the person perform it live and you like the song. because their performance live is, it's entertainment. I think it's entertainment. So you have to know how to entertain the people. And I feel like I said, when you asked about AI and everything, I said AI can't sell out no shows and go perform at the venue. So I feel like that's key.
That's right. That's right. Ron, any parting words for Kam Geez?
Well, no, I agree with what you're saying too, IB. I think you and I both know that, standing on a stage is always going to make you more money. My wife loves it when I say I'm going to go play a live gig because she knows money's going to come home. But if I release a song, she doesn't know what's going to be coming from that one, other than well, how many more plugins did you buy, hon, that you're not going to be able to pay for on this song. So that's sort of where things go with that. But if I go and say, hey, I've got a gig, she knows that I'm going to be bringing home some cash. So that's always nice. My wife is so supportive. Don't get me wrong. All I'm saying from that is that, like TyB saying, the gigs are going to be the money makers for you. Because as you pointed out too, Kam Geez, is that it's AI is never going to be able to take the place of a human being. And I think that's what we love to see. We love that social interaction with the people and feeling like they're right there in our face. I'd rather see Adele play live than to listen to her, watch her on YouTube. So I think that's where TyB is going with this, I think. And I assume your thoughts are the same on this. What do you think, Kam Geez?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, direct to consumer. That's another way of direct consumer. Like seeing the artist live perform, and you can. And if you really think the artist, you really are a fan of the artist, buy the merch and everything. AI can't sell merch. Yeah. You can use AI to create your merch, but AI ain't gonna sell it. You know what I mean?
Good point.
That's right.
Yeah. And the day we rely on AI to write our songs is the day I'm going to quit. Writing songs.
That's
it'll never replace me on stage.
Nope.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kam Geez. It sounded like you're going to say something.
No, I just said probably by a hologram or something like the Tupac hologram. That's the only way they could probably use AI or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So. We've had this nice conversation, honestly, and I would like to extend my sincere thanks to your team for real. And Richardine, she's come through so much. We've been working together over the past 4 years. Whoa, 4 good years. And she's always giving us artists. Yes, she's the best. She's the best out there. Grunge Cake. Yes. And before we go, how can people reach you?
You can go on my website, thehighendhustler.com. You can go on my YouTube, got a lot of content dropping on there. Or just go on if you have you on Instagram, go on Instagram. It's high.end.g.geez. That's High End G's. Follow me on Instagram. I'm heavy on there. Or my Facebook, Kam Geez. Or even my Twitter, high_E_G's.
On that note, I would like to thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to be with us. And
I appreciate y'all.
This station is yours. Come again anytime, every time, 24/7. We are here. Anytime you drop something, bring it out here, and we'll support and promote the music for you.
I appreciate that, man, for real.
Listen, we swim or we sink together. Take that with you. We swim or we sink together. This is your radio station. Folks out there, thank you for taking your time to be with us on Love Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. Reach us. We are here 24/7. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone. See you later.